Loving Sairam, Dr. Bharat Dahiya, you are someone who discovered Swami just 4 5 years ago after having done your PhD in Cambridge and worked in World Bank and UN for decades, helping countries, advising nations and big organizations plan cities and plan big urban projects and urban spaces. There came a time when you somehow felt your life has no purpose and plan. And that's when a beautiful journey of your soul began. Tell us this story.
Om Shri Sai Ram. I would like to offer my loving and humble pranams at Swami's divine lotus feet. And I thank Swami for giving me this opportunity to speak with all of you. He's the one who speaks, and I hope he inspires this conversation. I would like to share a few antecedents of my spiritual journey, which began when I was about 5 years old. I think this is about 1975 or 76, when my father initiated me in the Gayatri Mantra. We were living in Hyderabad, and one day he took me to the roof of our house with a pot of water, and he asked me to offer that water to Bhagawan Surya, and then asked me to chant the Gayatri Mantra after him. He had built a temple of Bhagawan Shri Krishna in Delhi, and when I was 8 years old, he had given me the responsibility to clean the temple and give a bath to the gods in the temple. And I used to find immense joy in giving bath to Bhagawan Shri Krishna. Later, when I was a teenager, he gave me several books of Swami Vivekananda, like Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga. And I asked him which one I should start reading first. And he said, perhaps Karma Yoga will help you. And so I started reading, and it opened many doors for me. I found out the meaning of karma, which is not only the action, but also the results thereof. It is the latter which is more emphasized, which means the results. But we somehow forget that our actions are very, very important. Now, when I started to focus on my work sincerely, I was able to study better. And after finishing my postgraduate studies in India, I went to do my PhD at the University of Cambridge. After, as you mentioned, I worked with the World Bank, the United Nations, and then life brought me after the United Kingdom, the USA, and Japan. Life brought me to Thailand, and I started to teach and write academic papers and do research. It was somewhere in 1991 that I first came to know about Swami. One of our English teachers in college mentioned about him and asked me to apply for admission at Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. My interest was in geography, and I had already secured an admission in MA Geography program at Jawaharlal Nehru University, or JNU. But I was happy to give up that, and I wrote to Swami saying that I'm interested to do MA in Geography. Please kindly advise me how to go about it. I received a reply letter from the registrar of the institute saying that this subject was not there, uh, was not offered. And they sent me a picture of Swami. That was the first time I saw how Swami looked like. And behind that postcard was written, "When I am here, why do you fear?" So that gave me some inspiration. And while I regretted that I could not come to Swami's Institute, but that inspiration, looking at Swami's picture and those words, sailed me through my master's program at JNU. Now I come back to somewhere in 2019, and I had the opportunity to visit Sri Jagannath temple in Puri in Odisha. It was a matter of chance, one could say, or a divine intervention that the day I arrived was Sri Krishna Janmashtami in 2019. I had a friend in Bhubaneswar. I asked him if he could take me to the temple. And when I visited Sri Jagannath temple, as if a wave of spirituality started to appear in my conscience. Maybe I was starting to reconnect with Bhagawan Sri Krishna. Later on in that year, in 2019, a point came where I got disillusioned with all the work that I was doing. And I went to the balcony of my house in the evening. I had heard somewhere that gods listen to our prayers in the night when there is less pollution and less noise. So I prayed to Sri Bhagawan that somehow I have come to a point in my life that things do not seem to make sense. And all the dreams that I had in terms of getting high quality education, working with international organizations, and working with university, all of those dreams had come true. But I was still unhappy inside, and there was something missing. So I prayed to Sri Bhagawan, Bhagawan as in general, that please guide me. And I seemed to have at that time two options. First option was I asked Bhagawan that if there is anything left for me in this life to complete, please guide me about that. Or I'm happy to return to you. Maybe my job on this planet has finished. That's why I'm not finding anything interesting. And I should head home, whatever that home is. Now, this was late 2019. And in February 2020, I got a chance to visit Kolkata, and I visited Dakshineshwar Kali Mandir. Now, I had some feeling of devotion to Mother Goddess Kali since I used to read Swami Vivekananda's literature. And perhaps that visit to Dakshineshwar came at an appropriate time. When I visited Mother Kali's temple, my prayer to her was, please show me the path to God. And it was in a couple of months that a question arose in my conscience, how to pronounce Gayatri Mantra properly. I think this was somewhere in April or May 2020. As we know, that was the time of COVID lockdown. And I went to YouTube and searched how to pronounce Gayatri Mantra properly. A video appeared from Malaysia where a brother in the Sai community is asking a sister from Puttaparthi who is visiting Malaysia on how to pronounce Gayatri Mantra properly. And this discussion was happening in a Sai temple. There was pictures of Shirdi Sai and Sathya Sai in the background. And when the sister started to explain how to pronounce Gayatri Mantra properly, it just occurred to me that, oh, I have been missing this right pronunciation, which is given by none other than Sri Sathya Sai Baba. And it rang all the bells, starting from my father giving me initiation into Gayatri, and it starts to connect several dots for me. And once I started to chant Gayatri Mantra the way Swami has taught us, I started to develop more and more interest in videos which featured Swami's talks, Samarpan talks by Swami's students and Swami's devotees. I watched the Sathya to Sai series prepared by the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. And since then, since the summer of 2020, this journey of discovering Swami has continued for me. And then there was a major milestone in August 2022 when I first visited a Sai Mandir in Laos. And whatever happened there was life-changing for me. I felt like doing Dandvat Pranam to Swami's chair. And also, there was a huge portrait of Swami, and a feeling came in my heart that I should take Pad Namaskar. So as I bent to take Pad Namaskar from that framed picture of Swami, my forehead got pulled to Swami's lotus feet. And when I touched Swami's lotus feet with my forehead, it seemed to pull my forehead to Swami's lotus feet. And when I touched, and I thought that I could just come back, I could not do that for 10-15 seconds. The power of pulling to the Swami's lotus feet was so strong that I felt the glass would break. So I was trying to hold myself. Perhaps this was Swami's unique way to give me Pad Namaskar and pull me literally to his divine lotus feet. And then things started to change. After about a year of that time, I first came to Prasanthi Nilayam at the Shri Krishna Janmashtami of 2023. And this is my first year anniversary of coming to Prasanthi Nilayam. Somehow Swami brought me here again at Shri Krishna Janmashtami. So this is how I have discovered and rediscovered Swami in a way, because I was introduced to Swami in a minor way in 1991. And then I'm here. And I'm most grateful to Swami for calling me and pulling me to his divine lotus feet.
Before COVID, when you heard Bhagawan chanting the Gayatri Mantra and then you started discovering more about him, watching his videos, what was the feeling then? How did, after that interest to come to Parthi begin?
So I would like to thank the technology, information technology, YouTube, as well as Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, because if this center was not there, perhaps I would not have been educated or exposed to so much of Sai material, Sai education, Sai learning, Sai teachings, discourses, interviews. And since I had plenty of time during the lockdown and even afterwards, once I got interested, I started to watch Swami's talks regularly, discourses. And I found that I could not complete my day without watching one or two of Swami's talks or discourses or singing bhajans. And what I found was, after being watching for several years now, that what impressed me most is the love Swami has for his devotees. And for that matter, we can say for the entire Shrishti that he has created. And his love shows in almost everything he does. You can see his love in his humility. You can see his love in his dedication to service, his care and dedication to his devotees. And entire life, he has been working to serve his devotees. So therefore, he has actually lived that mantra, which is imprinted in Sri Sai Sannidhi, love all, serve all. He is the best example of that mantra. And by extension of that, I may also say that he inspires by his actions. So when he shows his dedication to service, he inspires us to be dedicated to service. When he is explaining universal wisdom to us, he inspires us to learn that and put it into practice. When he shows his care for his devotees, he inspires that we should also serve devotees and Sevadal especially, who serve Prasanthi Nilayam ashram. So this is how I feel Swami's role has been. And I wanted to come to Puttaparthi. I started watching virtual tours of Puttaparthi and Prasanthi Nilayam. Since I had watched so many videos, I found out that one does not come to Puttaparthi until Swami wills. And you have to wait for a signal from Swami that this will happen. So I waited patiently, and about 1 year after of that that incident where Swami pulled me to his divine lotus feet, just a couple of weeks before the Sri Krishna Janmashtami, things started to develop in a way that a trip to Puttaparthi should happen. And I started to get in touch with some brothers over that summer period of 2023. I booked my ticket. I boarded the plane and checked with myself that, oh, this is happening, which means Swami has permitted me to fly. Then I took the taxi from Bengaluru airport. And then I felt that, oh, Swami has also willed that. And you can't imagine my joy when I arrived in the early hours of Janmashtami in 2023 in Puttaparthi. You know, the taxi, the car coming along the Vidyagiri road, and I was seeing these buildings and the ashram in real, compared to how I used to see them. And then next morning, I first time entered the ashram and went to Sai Kulwant Hall, where the special program on Sri Krishna Janmashtami was taking place. All of this was so unreal to me. And I could see those brothers whose talks I had watched on YouTube, their interviews I had seen. I could spot them everywhere in Prasanthi Nilayam campus, as if I was, walking in a fairyland. And I was thanking Swami that finally he had blessed me to come here. And I was full with this joy unspeakable about being here and coming here. I had finally come to my spiritual home. That's how I felt.
And when you prostrated at the Sannidhi for the first time, how was that feeling?
I feel that Sri Sai Sannidhi is the divinest place on the planet for me. When I go there, I prostrate. I feel that Swami is there, and my heart just opens. I can express my deepest feelings to Swami. Of course, the time is always short, but in that short moments, one's feelings come out. Whatever our love, our feelings are there, our devotion, our gratitude to Swami for everything he has blessed us with, it all pours down in that, pours out in that moment. So being near Sri Sai Sannidhi is a divine experience. No wonder people wait in long lines to be there. And I feel it every time when I'm there. Every time I prostrate, just the deepest feelings come out. And perhaps that's what Swami wants. He wants to see how much we love him and how do we share our love with him.
So there has been a new trajectory of your life, right? So before Bhagawan entered your life in 2020, you were clueless, or at least you were looking for meaning in life. You're looking for if there is anything for you to live for. And now when you look at your life, how does it feel?
Yeah, this is a very important question. I firstly feel after coming to Swami is that in Swami I have found the anchor of my life. I think life is incomplete without Swami now for me. And I have seen that in the last 2 years especially, my feeling of devotion and spirituality has enormously deepened. The surrender has come. Surrender has come because I have learned a lot. And Swami clearly says that for devotion to grow, you need jnana, knowledge. And so somehow perhaps when I was learning about Swami's teachings, discourses, and Samarpan talks and other talks by devotees and brothers and sisters, the feeling of surrender was growing inside me. And that has brought equanimity to me. And once equanimity comes, you start to see that whatever is happening for your good. So you start to attune yourself to whatever is happening Of course, you do your karma, and you do it with devotion and sincerity and unselfishness. And so all these different things of surrender, equanimity, disconnecting from the results of the karma that you're doing, they start to interplay with each other. And they further deepen one's devotion and spirituality. So I found that when I was starting to get detached from the results of karma, I was starting to lose the fear of what may happen, what may not happen. And as I did that, more and more, I started to feel free. Uh, I guess the people who have been through this experience would be able to connect to what I'm saying, is that once you do not have the fear of what may happen, you will suddenly feel a freedom inside you. And once we feel that freedom, my experience is that we become more creative. We are able to think new thoughts which were not possible before. And this is the one of the most rewarding things that I have seen, starting from surrendering, then following equanimity, detaching yourself from the results of karma, removal of fear, removal of desires, and then going into feeling of that freedom, feeling that you are blessed by Swami. So suddenly all the creative faculties open. I never thought somebody like me would sing bhajans. But I started singing bhajans a few months ago. And so this is the first thing that I feel, that Swami has now become the anchor of my life. The second thing is that the feeling of doership goes. Because you realize that when you are more and more connected to Swami, you feel that this is your duty. Whatever you are doing right now, it is the responsibility that Swami has given to you, and you are supposed to perform it as sincerely as possible. And then the rest is in Swami's hands. So the karta bhokta feeling, the doership and the so-called enjoyership or dealing with the results, that feeling starts to go away. And which is very helpful in my experience to manage and lower down one's ego. So, and once your ego comes down, it's like it starts to help support your devotion and other things. It helps to develop better equanimity. And so this is the second thing that I see that happens. The third thing that happens as a result is that once spirituality, you start to become aware of your spiritual growth. Earlier, you were just connecting with Swami. You're following Swami's teachings, but then you suddenly feel that you are now in the world of spirituality, in the realm of spirituality. And you start to engage more and more in spiritual activities. So you start your own Nam Smarana, for example. You start Japam, which is chanting. You may start meditation. And if you are lucky enough to be living near a Sai temple, you go and sing bhajans, or you sing bhajans at home. And so suddenly the whole dimension of spirituality opens up. The floodgates of spirituality seem to open up. And that is what happened to me. So all these things that I was mentioning, they happen to you, inside of you. But then there is a world around you who is also watching, who is observing the changes. And outwardly, you become calm. You become quieter, more thoughtful. You don't get angry easily. And the people who are living around you and the people you are working with, they start to benefit. And then since you are yourself calm, you are starting to feel the oneness with everyone around you. Because now one is aware that there is the same Atma or the soul that resides in everyone. And you start to feel that oneness with everyone at the Atmic level, at the soul level. And that reinforces your feelings of love all, serving humanity, and putting yourself out of the center. Earlier, one is the center of one's life. But then once you come to Swami's fold, your focus on yourself started to diminish. Not that you forget yourself completely, but your focus to serve others start to take more importance in your life, and the way you structure your life, the way you live your day, the way you plan your year. And it is quite a revolutionizing experience that your whole being has transformed. So I would call this as a transformative experience.
Also, about now that you've come to Prasanthi a couple of times, how does it feel to be in this space? That is the abode of Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, Prasanthi Nilayam.
I know that there are major festivals in the Sai calendar in Prasanthi Nilayam, and a lot of devotees come. Somehow, Shri Krishna Janmashtami seems to connect with me more. And while I was thinking to come here at Guru Purnima, somehow that did not happen. I had to, renew my passport also. So this is my 4th visit in 1 year. And I was praying silently to Swami that I would like to go to Prasanthi Nilayam at Shri Krishna Janmashtami. And our academic year has started, so there are classes to be taught and so on. But few weeks ago, one institute in India, which is organizing a conference, they invited me to this conference. And the conference starts in, 2-3 days after the Janmashtami. So they offered me to, choose my travel dates and my travel route. And so it so happens that I have these 3-4 days before that conference free. And I thanked Swami so much that I'm here again at Shri Krishna Janmashtami. And the program yesterday at Shri Sai Kulwant Hall was fabulous. It was a wonderful divine experience. So when I come here, actually I would like to share with you how I felt last year. It was Shri Krishna Janmashtami day, and I first entered the ashram from the Gopuram gate, and soon came to Sai Kulwant Hall. And my first experience was with the sound and the music, the spiritual music of bhajans. Is that my feeling, which I shared with one brother at that time, is that this is 20 times more powerful that I have watched on YouTube. I could see 2000% more energy in Sai Kulwant Hall. And I feel it whenever I go to Sai Kulwant Hall now. I don't know how other people feel, but when I go and sit there, I feel that Swami is there. And all throughout his life, he has given us so much knowledge. If we want to learn from his discourses and his writings and his vahinis and other writings he has done, there is everything in his teachings. And so if you have gone through his teachings and his vahinis and other literature, then when you look at Swami, then Swami looks someone very different. He does not look like the Swami is in the physical form, but you see his spiritual side. You see that he is the Karta Dharta of the universes. He is basically, he is the Grand Master of the universes and all the space that is there, which is him. And in that small space of Sai Kulwant Hall, within this grand universe, that energy is concentrated. And if one is able to connect to that energy, one feels charged, as if we are charging something. So whenever I come to Prasanthi Nilayam and Sai Kulwant Hall and go to Sri Sai Sannidhi, I feel that energy, coming to me, and I like to have as much as of it as possible. And it's absolutely divine experience to be here. The other thing that I felt last year when I came here first time was that, as I was telling you earlier, I went to different places to finally come here. For example, I read Swami Vivekananda's literature. And I really wanted to go to Dakshineshwar Kali Mandir, which happened in 2020. I wanted to go to Belur Mutt in Kolkata, which also happened in 2019. And I really wanted to go to Sri Jagannath Mandir in Puri. And that happened on Sri Krishna Janmashtami in 2019. So all the forms of God and all the sources of divine inspiration that I had, that period between 2019 and 2020, I physically went to those places. And when I came to Prasanthi Nilayam in August 2023, I felt that the emptiness that I had in my life, it just left me. I felt that this place, Prasanthi Nilayam, is so spiritually dense that there's no need to go anywhere else for me. It is like a Purn Kalash. That's how I see it. So Purn Kalash, it's called Purn Kalash, complete Kalash. And once you're here, your spiritual journey of search ends here. And the real spiritual journey to go inward, to go Godward, starts here. So in a way, this is like a transit point that you are searching for the way to Bhagawan, and then you come here, and then it sets you on a different journey altogether. Of course, one has to do the hard work, as Swami says. One has to practice his words. But success is guaranteed. As Swami says, if we practice, theory will not help. Just reading or listening is the very first step. But without practice, we will go only so far in our journey. So once we are able to combine the theory and practice, the learnings and the doings, we will be able to get much closer to Swami, and that is what he has been waiting for. He wants us to come closer and closer and closer to him.
As you said, when you are at Bhagawan's Sanidhi in Cyclone Thought, you can feel that energy 20 times more. You can feel the power of that place. Tell me, once you leave Prasanthi Nilayam, how do you connect to that energy?
So, as Swami says, he is inside us, above us, below us. He is everywhere. Of course, when we are at Prasanthi Nilayam, we somehow switch to this physical dimension that, we can see Bhagawan. We start to use our indriyas, to look at his form, look at the place where he lived his life. This is his karma bhumi. And every place here is touched by him. And so this experience is perhaps needed for a devotee, because the devotee, depending on their spiritual journey, they may need this external input to deepen their connection with Swami. So that is the function of Prasanthi Nilayam. I think that is how Swami designed before, he went into Mahasamadhi. And of course, as Swami said, he is the divine energy, the divine father and mother who is supporting. He is the Sarvadhar. He is the basis of everything. So once I leave Puttaparthi, I try to connect him inside myself. That, okay, I have taken this energy from Swami's physical dwelling in this world. And that energy that I'm carrying, it deepens my devotion and makes me feel that I'm carrying my own Swami. As we know, we have our own individual Jivatma, and this is our own Swami. And so I try to connect with that. And while I feel the pain of leaving Puttaparthi as the car drives away, but I feel that Swami is always with us wherever we go. If we have the sensitivity to be in touch with him, we can be in touch with him anywhere. However, Prasanthi Nilayam is his abode, and every time I come here, I get recharged, and I love to recharge myself. Even if I'm recharged, I would like to recharge more, because what would be the idea of having spirituality with limits? That is not a great idea.
Somebody who is now discovering Swami asks you the question, who is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba? What will you tell him?
To me, it is Swami is his teachings. And the more we learn his teachings, the more we discover his teachings, and some of us may have to go over them again and again. Every time we find that we are rediscovering ourselves, and that itself is a very enchanting spiritual journey. So I think if somebody is now coming to Swami when Swami is not here in the physical form, his words, his teachings are him. That is my experience. And once we start to learn the teachings, we start to imbibe the ideas that he has left for us, we start to feel his presence. We start to feel that he's around. We start to feel that he is inspiring us. We start to feel that we can talk to him. We can lay our problems in front of him. We can share our doubts with him. And the deeper the connection we develop through the teachings he has left to us, and by practicing those ideas, I feel that the connection starts to become deeper, and Swami starts to guide us more and more. But for that to happen, I think the second thing that is important, in addition to learning the teachings and starting to follow them, is the surrender to Swami. Because without surrender, things will not go very far. And one should pray to Swami that he takes the role of Sadguru for us. In my learnings from Swami, I found out that the best relationship that we could develop with Swami is of a teacher or Sadguru. And we have to surrender ourselves for that purpose. And we have to also promise, like we do with any teacher in a school or college or university, that we follow their advice, their teachings. So Swami would like us to, in my experience, to make a promise that we will follow his word. He will test you whether you are doing service. Are you doing a service regularly? And somehow you will find one day that your spiritual progress has stopped, or his blessing seems to have become scant. And that's when you need to recheck all your checklist, that are you scoring fully on those? And then suddenly you realize that, oh, there is something that I need to, there is a bad habit I should give up. There's a good habit that I should take and develop. Or there is something that I need to fine tune in my daily routine. And so all this will happen if you're tuned enough to him. You will start to get these metaphysical signals through intuition or through some feeling that you may get. And so pay attention to those subtle feelings, those butterfly feelings, as they say, to listen to Swami inside you. So those are the two things that I feel are essential. One are his teachings, his writings, his words. And second is to have him as Sadguru and to promise to follow his word.
But for someone who is just curious about Swami, and you are teaching in the university there, and someone just comes to know that, yeah, this person seems to be going to Puttaparthi and he seems to know about Satya Sai Baba, I will ask him, who is Baba? So what will you tell him?
The answer to this question perhaps should be given in two different ways. First are the people who do not come from, say, dharmic background. And here I would like to elaborate the dharma, because in the world there are two sets of religions. One are the dharma-based religions like Sanatan Dharma, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, and then there are the other religions which are which include Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And so the answer to people who are asking perhaps this question is to be given in different ways. People who come from a non-dharmic background, for them, Swami is a spiritual being. He is a arrival of a spiritual being on our planet who has given the message of oneness, who has highlighted the importance of human values. And his wisdom that he has shared is a universal wisdom. In a way, it's a universal heritage of knowledge, who has explained to us all the intricacies of how life is, how this universe functions, what defines our life, and how whatever we do has an impact on what may happen in the future. So instead of karma, people talk about the law of cause and effect. And so, in one way, Swami may be presented, depending on the audience, as a spiritual, universal spiritual being who was here, and with his teachings, he is still here to guide us to rediscover ourselves, to rediscover peace, rediscover those 5 values, Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa. And these are universal values. So if somebody has explained these 5 human values, and he has lived them, and so many millions of people are now transforming their lives by following those teachings and putting them into practice. That is one way of presenting Swami. To people who come from dharmic background, for them, Swami is an avatar of Kali Yuga. And avatar, the word avatar has a deep meaning. It's when God takes a human form to come and, enlighten us, to clarify our doubts. And as Swami said, he came because so many of us who were looking for spiritual succor, they were praying for years and years and years. We do not know. We are too little to figure that out. Maybe in many forms we have been praying, and he has called us because he said he calls those who are somehow associated with him. And so for us, or the people who come from dharmic background, they would find it very easy to connect if they know the essence of what an avatar is. And avatar comes here to enlighten us, to show us the path, to clarify our doubts, and to make us re-believe, perhaps, that all that is in the Shastras, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, all that is reconfirmed now. This is also one of the key things that has happened, that some of us, who are not in Swami's fold, some of them are still thinking that these scriptures are outdated or they are not helpful. But Swami came and interpreted those and even explained certain things uh, that had lost in the depths of time. So, coming to Swami is like you are rediscovering your heritage, your culture, the heritage of spiritual knowledge that we have. Um, and if you are a seeker, if you are a spiritual aspirant, and you come to the abode of the Kali Yuga avatar, what else could you ask for?
Absolutely. The descent of the divine is always only for the ascent of man. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you. Om Shri Sai Ram.